Welcome back to another episode of Reflect, looking at the book of Revelation. Today we're looking at Revelation chapter 7, verses 1 to 8. So we've opened the first six seals on the scroll that we read about in chapter 5 of Revelation. And so as we come to chapter 7, we kind of expect to start with opening the seventh and final scroll. But it doesn't. Instead, what we see are two visions in chapter 7 that are quite different than the preceding chapter. It's almost a pause in the seals to communicate something important to us, and that's how we need to look at it. So we're going to look at the first vision today at Revelation 7, 1 to 8. Let's take a moment and read this passage. After this, I saw four angels standing at the four corners of the earth, holding back the four winds of the earth to prevent any wind from blowing on the land or on the sea or on any tree. And then I saw another angel coming up from the east, having the seal of the living God. He called out in a loud voice to the four angels who had given power to harm the land and the sea, "Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees, until we put a seal on the foreheads of the servants of our God." And then I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. From the tribe of Judah, 12,000 were sealed. From the tribe of Reuben, 12,000. From the tribe of Gad, 12,000. From the tribe of Asher, 12,000. From the tribe of Naphtali, 12,000. From the tribe of Manasseh, 12,000. From the tribe of Simeon, 12,000. From the tribe of Levi, 12,000. From the tribe of Issachar, 12,000. From the tribe of Zebulun, 12,000. From the tribe of Joseph, 12,000. And from the tribe of Benjamin, 12,000. Now, if you've read Revelation before, you'll notice there's a lot of groupings of four. Have you ever wondered why there's four horsemen in chapter 6 and now four angels in chapter 7? And then think of the common way of referring to the four corners of the earth that we also see used here in chapter 7, or the four winds of the earth that we also see here. That image of four in the context of earth and wind is complete coverage of the earth. And so you can look at the four horsemen as completely covering the earth, the four angels going out to the whole earth. That's why there's four of each. Four has this image of totality or universality. Now in chapter 6, the judgment is complete over the earth and no one escapes. But here in chapter 7, we see four angels holding back the four winds of the earth, making sure the earth is not disturbed. And then we see a fifth angel come up from the east. This angel seems to be in charge of the other four. And it's revealed the four angels have power to bring judgment on the earth. They hold back the winds, but when released, judgment will ensue and devastation will come. The judgment is on hold, so the servants of God will have a seal put on their heads. These are different seals than what held the scroll closed. There's seals that, close a document up to make sure it's not been read until the person that's supposed to read it does, or there's seals like this that denote ownership of something or someone. And in this case, they are God's people. His seal is on them because they are his. Now, it's interesting that when we read Revelation and when we talk about end time, we get really caught up on the mark of the beast, which we'll talk about later on in Revelation. And that's what we get worried about. When our concern should be more, are we marked for God? Not are we marked by the beast, but are we marked for God? You see, that is the mark on the forehead, that marked with the seal of God, that truly matters. So we can get distracted by the sensational that we make out of something and miss the clear point. Who are you marked for? Are you marked for God or not? That's the question in Revelation. Now, we're told that 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel are sealed. Now, we need to realize that 144,000 is a symbolic number. Remember, we're in a vision, so everything's got meaning, because the vision is communicating God's truth in a way that John, who's receiving the vision, can understand and then communicate it to us. 144,000 is 12 times 12,000. 12 times 12. 12 is a number that represents God's power and authority. Think of 12 disciples, 12 tribes, as we see in this chapter. But it also symbolizes completeness as well. So 12 times 12,000 is a great number of people who are part of the complete total under God's power and authority. It's not about the literal number as much as the symbolism that this is a complete group that is quite large. We'll talk more about the 144,000 next episode when we look at another group of people called the Great Multitude. Either way, We need to recognize that God is in the business of saving people. And we see it here, a great group of people that is complete under God's authority that is being saved. And God has not left out anyone in this group. It is a group under God's authority, and it is complete. And they are people marked for God. That's the group we want to be a part of. And that's what this vision is trying to get across is, hey, if you're a part of this, you don't need to worry about everything else that's happening because you're marked for God. God knows you. He's interrupting this time of judgment to make sure that you are safe because he loves you and he cares for you and he's going to protect you. It's a beautiful image for those who are suffering and struggling in the world at that time when that vision is being received. And I hope for us too, when we look around the world and see the world in disarray and not following God, to realize that God is aware of who we are, that we are under his authority, and as followers of Jesus, we are marked as well with the seal of God as his people. So thanks for watching this episode, and we'll see you next time when we continue in chapter 7.